Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about The Punisher Season 1, Episode 4. It is called Resupply. Full spoilers for the episode as always. Hopefully this resupplies our enthusiasm for the show. That was a bit salty. I don't want to start
Uh,
off on such a salty note, but
yeah, that was rough.
it was just such an easy pun to go with. Um, so yeah,
I mean,
so
I guess the question is, did it resupply your hope?
did it resupply my hope? I did. It was better than episode 3.
Yeah,
I'll say that. I liked it more than episode 3. Did I like it particularly? I think some of the ongoing problems are starting to compound on themselves. Mainly anything with Homeland Security is like watching paint dry. I'm just
it's such a drag.
like there's a scene in this one where Stein's like planning this off. He's like, because they're going to they're going to catch this gun smuggler, so they're going to pay for the guns, and once the money's exchanged hands, we'll jump in. But he's got the map out, and he's like, snipers here, snipers there, and you'll be over here, and then we'll close this section off here. And then Medina gets up and says, "Nah, your snipers in the wrong place. They should be here, here, and here." And she corrects a couple of things, and I get what this scene's trying to do, but it's so just kind of blatant that
Yeah,
it just kind of it was just. Like I say, what we said a lot last time, going through the motions. It felt like it was going through the motions of, oh, she's going to upstage him in front of
yeah. It's
everyone.
like, look how good she is at all this.
Yeah. And it just, instead, I was just kind of whatever. And I think where it really hit home for me, the problem with this is the full final set, because again, much like the last episode, in theory, I should love the concept of this episode. It's all kind of building up to Frank's needing guns, and they try and steal them from Turkey earlier on, but it ends up just being one pink rifle with no ammo, so he's not very happy. So it's actually Micro's intercepted that this is all going down. It's like, okay, we're going to steal these guns, and it's all kind of building up to that, both from his side of the plot and also the Homeland Security side, and it's kind of all boiling down to we're finally going to have a meeting between Frank and Medina, sorry, and I feel like in another show where I actually cared about both sides of this would be quite a big, prominent moment where they finally intersect and they finally know that they have a stare down in their cars like that, like they're actually trying to outdrive each other, and it's fairly well shot for what it is.
I have some problems with the car sequence.
Oh, go on.
I really struggled with the geography. It spent a long time only showing me one car at a time, and it
Yeah,
was
no,
very
that's fair.
rare that it would show me both and give me a sense of what was going on.
I think it was going for more of a haphazard feeling, which I think, at least in terms of in terms of momentum, it still kind of succeeded.
Yeah.
I think, and then it eventually boils down to like he kind of loses her, and he's kind of like sort of slowly just driving, looking down the night streets, the empty night streets, looking for her. And then she eventually appears, and we have a bit of a sort of game of chicken with them. And I thought, okay, on its own, in the vacuum, this is fine. But the problem is that I don't really care about her yet, so I don't really care the fact that this is how they meet.
I think it's mildly amusing in that she's already got this big grudge against Frank already. Like, she's kind of hunting him in various ways already. He doesn't even know she exists.
No, he doesn't. This is the first time he ever knows about her, and Micro actually comes in with a truck and hits her, and Frank's kind of pissed because he knew that didn't have to happen. Like he knew that was overkill. This didn't need to be the case. And I'm like, okay, I know exactly what's about to happen. He's going to go over there and save her out the car, and this is going to plant the seed of doubt in her mind that maybe he's
Yeah.
not a bad guy. She's even kind of like groggy for a bit. She's like, "Oh, did you kill Wolf?" And he's like, "Damn right, I did. Guy was dirty, was evil, was a bastard," and kind of walks off into the night. And this is where I realised, or not, I realised. I've already been thinking this for the last couple of episodes, but this is like another big moment for me where I'm like, I should love this moment. I should really care about this. I should care about the fact that they've met for the first time, and now she has a reason to suspect, you know what, maybe I should be on his side. Or at least tolerate him to an extent.
Yeah, definitely. But it's just not really there, is it?
Yeah,
It's not
isn't.
earned it.
I don't really care, and that's kind of a problem. So, so no. To answer the question that was posed that led to that statement, no, I did not feel that this resupplied my excitement for Punisher. I'm sorry to say,
It was a long-winded answer, but we got there.
we did get there. Yeah. So, well, we covered all the car chase stuff, so that's fine.
We did.
First half of the
We've
episode,
hit one of our tick boxes.
yeah, Frank had to go back to Micro's wife because she needed the insurance documents signed. So Frank goes, and kind of hangs around, and Micro's watching. Frank doesn't know that he's watching. At least he's playing it that way. Maybe he secretly does know.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah. But so Micro's watching, and Frank's at his house, like sort of chatting up his wife and being friendly with the kids, and like, well, maybe not the son. The son's an asshole, as as Micro's wife points out.
Yeah, that was one of those moments where I think it's the first time in this show I thought the acting made me laugh at a bad delivery. It's where, she says, "Oh, sometimes I wish they weren't here," and then she pauses and then goes, "Oh shit, I shouldn't have said that." And I thought it was a really awkward delivery.
It was really on the nose. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Yeah, and he kind of bonds with the daughter a little bit because the daughter's good with her hands. She's good with fixing things, so he kind of like jumps in and helps her fix the sink. And it's somewhat interesting just from Micro's perspective because he's watching this and he's like he can't be there and do that. So this other man's like being a father to it,
watching this through proxy of Frank.
Yeah, it's this kind of weird thing, but yeah, I mean, arguably that's the best. I mean, the action of the car chase is pretty decent, but arguably this is the best kind of part of the episode in terms of drama, if you will.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what I'm not feeling. I'm not feeling, what's his name? Lewis's PTSD shenanigans. We didn't even talk about his thing last episode. Last episode he almost shot his dad. We completely forgot to talk about that.
I think it's just a point of how little I care. Until you mention this now, I forgot this was a plot in this episode as well.
Well, I wasn't going to forget this one because this one he digs a foxhole in his backyard and sleeps in it because he might sleep better in there. And he's got all his guns and stuff. And he actually goes to Billy's thing. What was it called? Anvil, I think.
Anvil, yeah. I knew it began with an A.
And he's signing up for this like kind of private military team where you'll be valued. All the investment that's went into you. Blah blah blah. He gives his big speech. And then Curtis comes by, who we know is friends with Billy, and goes, "Hey, yeah, he's kind of lost. Like, he might snap. Like, if I was out there in the field, I would not want him watching my six. Like, seriously, he's not worth it."
I mean, he needs help, but do not put him in combat.
What Curtis says he's going to take care of that side of it, so you suspect that Curtis is going to go and try and help him next, but it leads to this really awkward scene where Billy has to come out and say, "Hey, can I talk to you, Lewis?" And he's like, "Yeah, why don't you tell me about that hole you dug and why you're sleeping in it?" And so on and so forth. And basically Lewis just gets hostile and like demands that,
yeah,
you're just a liar like everyone else, and don't do this to me. And it's like, you're clearly unhinged. You're sounding far too desperate here. Like, clearly
you're making it worse.
Yeah. By the way, I figured out what I know this actor from as well.
Oh, go on.
He was in 11/22/63. He played Lee Harvey Oswald in that, if you recall.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? It's his mouth. It's the way he kind of like sort of squirms his mouth together as he talks.
No, you're right. I can see it now.
That's what was making me think. I know this guy from somewhere. And sure enough, that's what it was. But
I really hate this plot. What I don't get why it's here. Why am I watching this guy do this bollocks?
What's the other thing? I think the story of PTSD is something that obviously has there's potential there. There's things you can do with that. I think the problem is that this show wants to pretend that it's trying to do a serious PTSD thing, both with Frank and Micro and guys like Lewis, but then it wants to glorify the violence and have like over the top action scenes where there's blood and
I think
murder
the problem
everywhere.
Is with this plot specifically, it feels redundant because, like you said, we're already getting this with Frank and Micro done better and more subtly. This is just, this is what this is. This is all this is. There's nothing else to it.
I mean, I don't know what this is going to connect with later on, but like right now, you could cut this entire plot out of the show, and I would not be missing a damn thing. You'd just be saving me time.
Yeah, it would make the episodes tighter.
Yep, I agree.
I don't know why I'm watching this. This plot specifically.
Yeah, this plot. Yeah,
I mean, I'm not entirely sure why I'm watching the show, but this plot specifically, I have no idea.
Nah, I have nothing for you. Like, it's tedious to get through. It's over the top. It's overacted, and like I'm sure it'll somehow link in with Frank later. Like I'm sure it'll end up. Like the obvious guess would be that he goes and fights for a bad guy, and they'll end up fighting Frank. Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe. I don't know. Do you know the funny thing is the one hope I have for this show, honestly, at this point, Again, it's not terrible. It isn't, but it's just kind of mundane. But my one hope is that apparently the last like 2 or 3 episodes are like some of the most gory TV ever made.
See, that's cool.
It is.
But this is going to come back to criticism. I'm going to talk about Game of Thrones. There was a season where I stopped watching because I think it was season 5. I was like, I'm bored. This isn't working for me anymore. So I stopped watching after about 3 or 4 episodes, and people get going, oh, but this episode's amazing. This makes up for it. And eventually I went back and watched back through because I had to catch up because they were going past the books. And I was like, do you know what? Yeah, that was a very good episode. That was a great episode. But it wasn't worth the 7 before that I had to sit through.
And in this case, it would be the previous 9 or 10 before we get to the...
Right, exactly. And it's like, yeah, okay, that sounds great. I look forward to it if I get that far.
This is just like, you know, offhand knowledge that I've read, like people talking about it and stuff. Obviously, I don't know if I'm going to feel the same way. I just...
Yeah.
And I'm sure, like, yeah, the brutal gore, because I love gore. Like, I'm a big horror movie guy.
Yeah,
I love a bit of gore.
That sounds great to me.
But it feels weird to me that you want to do that. You want to do the over-the-top gore, but you also want to do the serious PTSD discussion. I don't think
you
they
want
mix.
the over-the-top gore. I mean, they can if the over-the-top gore is supposed to be horrifying. If it's I mean, the problem is in this show, the over-the-top gore is like, here, have some over-the-top gore. This is some fun action sequence. But so that's where it hits the odds.
Yeah, that's basically it. I honestly, we said we'd give it till like Friday time, and you know that'd be about episode 5 or 6, and I'm willing to do one more, and we'll see how it goes. But I feel like we're getting to the point now where, like you even said last episode that we'll eventually sort of run out of new things to say, and I've talked about how it's kind of made more of a problem in this episode because like I was supposed to have this climatic thing where we have Frank.
And at this point, we had the whole stuff with Lewis to discuss and talk about its PTSD angle. We haven't really talked about that before.
But I feel like I'm getting to the point now where I'm going to have almost nothing to say about these episodes.
I think it's really notable that this discussion is already much shorter than any other.
No, it is, absolutely is. I have very little to say. I mean, Frank had a flamethrower at one point. That was kind of fun.
That was cool, I guess. But
that was pretty much it. Like I don't know. I'm not feeling it, and I think we're at the point where we're clearly just sort of if we continue with this, we're going through the motions, kind of like the show is.
I think one more. That's 5 episodes. Then that's a better shot than we give a lot of shows on TV.
Yeah. Typically, if we're murky on it, we'll maybe give it 3 episodes. If we hate it, you just not going past episode 1. But like, I feel like anyone watching this will get nothing out of this going forward. Really, I don't feel like we're going to be able to offer you much. So, I think on those terms, we'll do one more. We'll see if we feel any better, or if we see if it. And I think at that point, 5's close enough to half the season that I'm willing to kind of call that. We can probably just safely skip out because right at this point I'm feeling like I don't really want to watch the rest of it, and if I'm at that point, then
that's it. It's got like one last chance to convince us to stick around.
Yeah. So yeah, let us know what you thought of the episode. You may be liking the show a lot more than we are, and that's so cool. But yeah, get us on Twitter at mailed_fuzz. If you want to support the channel, head over to patreon.com/mailedfuzztv. You can do that over there. Otherwise, that is us though. So thank you once again for watching. Keep watching TV, guys. Have you got any vanilla?